And, George, it's a reminder, of course, that they will get some momentum, you'd imagine, out of this today, and Labor doesn't launch until Monday week.
Until Monday week. And this changes, basically what's come till now changes the story for Julia Gillard's campaign launch the following week. There has to be a big, big new policy in there for Gillard. And what a strange campaign. Tony Abbott doesn't have to announce a big policy, just another dog whistle on asylum seekers. And he presumably could devote half his speech to attacking the government.
Whereas Julia Gillard has to... Have they got any money for a big
I don't think there's going to be a big policy announcement.
I actually think they've already overspent, so I'd be surprised if they went giveaway in this campaign launch, because it might actually draw attention to them.
No, but I mean the government. I don't think the government's
No, the government have a big idea up their sleeve. It doesn't involve money, though.
Right.
Well, where's the V for vision in this whole thing?
Well,
where's the Gillard
picture?
Yeah.
OK, look, impersonations of Julia Gillard have been popular throughout this campaign. Peter Costello had a go at it, and now Bronwyn Bishop has had a go. Here she is.
The Labor Party regards you as a problem, as a challenge, and we have to find a solution.
Bronwyn is probably the most popular person in Australia, at least before seniors audiences.
Now, we've already spoken about pop quizzes and how they slip into every election campaign. Well, there was the pop quiz question of the week. Here it is.
Can I ask you who the current Petrol Commissioner is?
You can, and I'm rudely going to forget his name. I'm sorry.
Do you know who the Petrol Commissioner is?
Someone called Des. Look, the thing is, if the Prime Minister, it's the Prime Minister's policy to have a Petrol Commissioner, and she doesn't know the Petrol Commissioner's name, which just goes to prove that her policies aren't working.
This is an outrage.
Who is the petrol?
Joe. It's not Des, it's Joe. But no, it really is. These sorts of questions are going to come up all the time. You made the point earlier, George, that it really doesn't matter because...
It doesn't matter. What is the price of milk? I mean, it isn't. It isn't the issues about.
And even further than that, and sort of an extension, I guess, on the whole pop quiz idea was when Julia Gillard was asked about, something that she had apparently inadvertently introduced into the campaign. It caught her by surprise. Here she is.
I've been had it suggested to me this morning that in some attempt at subliminal influence on the campaign, I'm deliberately saying Tony Rabbit. People who get their information through that network will be able to get a presentation from me and one from Mr. Abbott.
At least we're getting a bit of humour occasionally into the whole exercise.
That was bizarre. Are you, John Fate said, are you seriously trying to call him Mr. Rabbit?
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Well, it came out, I think, in Struth initially that this kind of allegation was made, but isn't this sometimes with the Twitter influence on an election campaign when one person needs to put this out there and suddenly it takes off and it's discussed on radio?
Apparently, because if something's written down, as opposed to it was said in a pub, apparently if something's written down, it's real.
Yeah.
It's got no more credibility than pub talk.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's hard for any of the state politicians to break through in the middle of a federal election campaign, but we've found somebody who has and did it in rather spectacular style. Andrew Fraser is the Treasurer in Queensland. John Paul Langbrook is the opposition leader. Now, if you're familiar with the Old Spice ad, then this will make sense to you, but he drew on the Old Spice advertisement and had a go at the opposition leader. Here it is.
Look at your man. Now back to me. Now back at your man. Now back to me.
He's ditched the lady-scented body wash and he's gone all Old Spice, saying that he's the real man to lead the National Party, Mr. Speaker. He's there saying, look at me, don't look at him, don't look at Tim, look at me. What are the policies? I don't know. They're anything you want them to be, Mr. Speaker.
Anything is possible when your man smells like Old Spice and not a lady. I'm on a horse.
And there he is, being anything you want to be. And look, Mr. Speaker, he's next to a horse.
There are a few versions of that Old Spice roaming around the net, which my son quite gleefully shows me quite often.
Top end.
You've got to hand it to Andrew Fraser. He got the delivery right.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we've dealt with a lot of issues this morning. What do you think was the issue that kind of broke through the policy announcement that might have had greatest effect? Because of course Tony Abbott spent a lot of time on the hospitals issue, but then that kind of got blown away that day. For Labor, what was the issue?
I think for the coalition, and this is a big contest in this election, it is the paid parental leave. There's a huge difference between what they're offering. Tony Abbott's scheme is so generous, in my view, irresponsibly and inequitably generous, and it will be changed. There's no way they could keep in government fulfilling that promise. It is off the Richter scale.
And the Nationals don't like it one little bit.
But it is a very generous election promise, there's no doubt.
And for Labor, what do you think of the extra funds for 16, 17, 18-year-olds to stay at school? Do you think that would have had some impact?
If anyone's noticed it, yes. I think it's a
this is the
terrific
problem,
promise for families.
You know, it actually just got so little resonance, and for families that, I mean, kids are staying at home clearly longer. I mean, not
because we want them to stay in school longer.
We want them to stay in school, or go to trade schools, or get qualifications through apprenticeships and all that sort of thing. So, I mean, it's a very good promise. It just depends on the bottom line, though. What's about 700 million or something?
But most families in that cohort would have heard that promise. If they paid attention to nothing else in this election campaign, they would have heard it. The fact that we haven't had a national conversation about it doesn't mean it isn't heard by the target audience. I mean, one of the things in this campaign that still strikes me as what makes the result unpredictable is the electorate itself is disengaged in a way that it hasn't been before. Now, to change a government elections, it is alert to what's going on in politics. This election, the people are really happy. It's the politicians are driving each other mad.